Today we will discuss about audit report and contents of audit report with practical example for better understanding. First of all, we have to discuss about introduction to audit report. Okay, an audit report is a written document that outlines the findings of an audit. The report is intended to provide an objective assessment of the company's financial statements and internal controls, and to provide recommendations for improvement where necessary. Okay, what is audit report? Audit report is a written document. We know that it's a written document. What it describes? That means outlines the findings of an audit. So an audit report explains findings of an audit. The report is intended to provide an objective assessment. It provides only objective assessment of the company's financial statements. What are will provide? Company's financial statements and also internal control of the company. We already discussed about internal control. It provides financial statements and also internal controls, and to provide recommendations for improvement where necessary. So where improvement necessary, also recommendations provided in audit report. After going through practical example, you will got much more clarity. Okay, now we will discuss about contents of an audit report. Okay, one thing remind, auditor should not prepare financial statements. Auditors ought to do provide an objective assessment. Okay, these are all concepts, basic concepts we already discussed, don't worry. Next, contents of an audit report. An audit report typically includes the following sections. What are those? Title, address, introduction, scope of the audit, opinion on the financial statements, basis for opinion, key audit matters, other information required by law or regulations, responsibility of management and auditors, signature and date. So these are all main contents of the audit report. Now we will discuss each and every one with detailed example. Okay, first of all we have to discuss about what is the first one? Title. So here is the one title, independent auditors report. It's a title. What is title? Independent auditors report. Next, address. So here provide the shareholders of XYZ company, so their address here mentioned. Next, third concept, what? Introduction. What introduction mentioned in audit report? Here you provide, we have audited the financial statements of XYZ company for the year ended 31st December 2023, which comprise the balance sheet, income statement, statement of changes in equity and cash flow statement, and the notes to the financial statements. So in introduction they provide what comprises the audit report. That means balance sheet, income statement, statement of changes in equity and cash flow statement, and the notes to the financial statements. Okay, next, fourth content, scope of the audit. So here they mentioned what is the scope of the audit they performed, that means by the auditor. Okay, so practical example, scope of the audit. Our audit was conducted in accordance with the International Standards on Auditing, ISAs, Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statements section of audit. Okay. Section of the report. Next, after the scope of audit, opinion on the financial statements. Next content, opinion on the financial statements. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of XYZ company as at 31st December 2023 and of its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with the international financial reporting standards. Okay, so what is the auditor opinion on the financial statements here provided? So in our practical example, what is the opinion? The financial statements give a true and fair view, first one. Okay, next mention company name. Okay, and also opinion on financial performance and its cash flows for the year ended in accordance with the international financial reporting standards or Indian audit standards. Okay, next content, basis for opinion. Basis for opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. Our procedures included examination on a test basis of evidence supporting the amounts and disclosures in the financial statements. We also evaluated the overall presentation of the financial statements. So in this content, the auditor provide on what basis the opinion described in audit report. That means basis for opinion. On what basis the auditor provide in this accordance with the international standards on auditing. Okay, and also procedures included in examination on a test basis. The audit performed on a test basis only. Okay, not complete. Okay, on a test basis. So what are it supports? The amounts and disclosures in the financial statements. Okay, next content, key audit matters. Key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters that in our professional judgment were of most significance in our audit of the financial statements of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the financial statements as a whole and in forming our opinion thereon, and we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. Have you understood key audit matters? Simple. Key audit matters. What are the key audit matters? The auditor have to provide professional judgment. Okay, professional judgment. So on a most significance of our audit of the financial statements of the current period. So this is the professional judgment on the of company's financial statements for the current period. Okay, so here opinion thereon, and we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. We have to provide professional judgment, that only, not personal judgment. Okay, so this is key audit matters. Next content, other information required by law or regulation. We have nothing to report in respect of the following matters, where the Companies Act 2013 requires us to report to you if in our opinion. Okay, so that means other information required by law or regulation means as per Companies Act or Income Tax, other acts, other prescribable laws, you have to provide other information in audit report. So what are those? The first one, the information given in director's report for the financial year for which the financial statements are prepared as inconsistent with the financial statements. Okay, this one content. Or the director's report does not cover the matters specified in section 134(3) of the Companies Act 2013. And have you understood what are the other information required by law or regulation? Simply, so in audit report they have to provide director's report for the financial year for which the financial statements are prepared as inconsistent. In what matters the director report and the auditor report inconsistent, that means not matched, some variance, okay, is there, we have to mention. Okay, and also the director report does not cover the matters specified in section 134 subsection 3 of the Companies Act 2013. Responsibility of management and auditors. Next content, responsibility of management and auditors. Management is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements in accordance with IFRS and for the internal control relevant to the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements. So this is already known concept, responsibility of management and auditors. So management is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements, okay, in accordance with the IFRS, and for the internal controls relevant to the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements. As the auditor responsibility is to express an opinion on the financial statements based on our audit. Okay, so these are the two different objects. What is the management responsibility? Management responsibility is the preparation of financial statements as per audit and accounting standards. Up to that, management responsibility. After that, opinion, express an opinion on the financial statement is the auditor responsibility. Okay, we conducted our audit in accordance with the international standards on auditing. Those standards requires that we comply with ethical requirements and plan and perform the audit to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are free from material misstatement. Okay, and also other concept, signature and date, that means name of the audit firm, date of the audit report you have to mention. Okay, so these are all the contents of an audit report. Watch the video twice, then you will got much more clarity, because we have to learn each and every concept in detail. Okay, first learn the introduction and audit, about audit and audit report. Okay, thank you.